Alright guys, so I figured while my EDC update video is still uploading, I might as well do the video on the Sage just by itself. If it'll focus here. I figured I'd just use my wallpaper on my computer just so you have something, so you have an interesting background. But so here's the knife. So yeah, I got this in a trade with a fellow on Instagram by going by Chris Reeve. I'll show his Instagram to you guys so you can give him a follow. Just look at this. Sorry about this. I should have had this prepared beforehand, but yeah. So the guy I traded with is this guy, Crispian. But I'll call him Chris, just because saying Crispian is a little weird for me to say for some reason. But yeah, you can see his Instagram. He posts some cool stuff. And I believe he actually paints these himself, or he makes these himself, so these are pretty cool. And here's the picture of the domino that I traded him. So yeah, you should give him a follow. He has an awesome beard. If it'll load. I think the beard's just too cool. It just doesn't want to load. That's how cool it is. But yeah, you can see that luscious beard. So yeah, give him a follow just because of his beard. It's really awesome. So thanks for the trade, Chris. So I got this knife, the Sage 2. You can see it's a titanium frame lock by Spyderco. This is from Taichung, Taiwan. And I mean, I'd pull up the specs for you, but you guys, I don't even think you really want to know that much. But I mean, as long as you know the blade length is under 2 inch or 3 inches, of course. And this is probably like, you know, probably my favorite size for a knife right now. For a while there, I was like around. I really liked knives that were around the 3.5 to 3 3/4 inch. But now it's just like after having starting to go to college, I want to carry more knives that are more, I don't know, more compact, that won't freak people out too much. Not just for people though. You know, I didn't get into this hobby just to please other people. It's kind of for me. For some reason, it's just now it's kind of a cool factor just to have a knife that's just compact, to have the size that you just enough, you know. For some reason that's just cool to me right now. And yeah, that's just what my collection's kind of taking on. So you can see that the blade's kind of got a satin finish, you know, like Spyderco's usually the higher end ones have this nice satin finish, and it looks really cool. See the etching of the Spyderco logo, just looks really nice, really crisp. If it'll actually focus. So yeah, just really crisp etching there. Then on the other side, see Taichung, Taiwan. One of my things though, I kind of wish that they would use a different font for the Taichung, Taiwan. I think it looks a little cheesy. Wish they went for like something like a simpler font, like the one that they used for the Spyderco and then the blade steel right here. And yeah, while we're on the blade steel, it's CPM S30V, just like my Spyderco paramilitary. I would get that out, but sorry, I'm too lazy. But you all should know about S30V. It's really good steel. It holds an edge really well, although it chips pretty easily. But yeah. And then let's get to the handle. So this is the sorry about that, I'm just like cat got my tongue. But this is a titanium frame lock, so this is the show side, just blasted titanium, and then the frame lock side. And just for some reason, I've just really been liking the plain tie look, kind of like Terra Fanatic's connection. What am I saying? Collection. Oh man, I cannot speak today. But yeah, kind of like his collection. I just like the simple, rugged look of blasted tie, just offsetting with the satin finish. Just, I don't know, something just really simplistic, and I really like it. Just the utilitarian look. As you can see on this frame lock side that we have a pocket clip. The Spyderco's signature wire pocket clip. This has really good retention. You know, it has a little bit of play, but that's just because it's wire, it's not a solid piece. And then, you know, there's no, doesn't make a, it's has really good retention, you know, that's on there. It's not making like a tap sound or anything. You can see that the lock bar cutout, the relief cut, dang on, it's not focusing. The relief cut is inwards, kind of like a Chris Reeve knife, and I'll get onto that later. And then there's no steel lock bar inserts, just straight up titanium on steel, and it's really smooth. So Crispin really broke this one in, and it goes out really nice. And you know, I'll get to the Sage line. So the Sage line is a line of Spyderco knives where they pay tribute to different knife makers by using different locks. So the Sage 1 is a carbon fiber liner lock. It's a tribute to Michael Walker. And then this Sage 2 is a titanium frame lock, or the Reeve Integral Lock R.I.L. So that's a tribute to him, you know, making the frame lock. I don't know if it's true that he invented it, but this is a tribute to his knife, and it's yeah, it carries along those lines of just like the Savenza, where you have a plain blasted titanium, you know, knife, and it's just really utilitarian looking, and it's yeah, it feels really cool. And then the Sage 3 is the Blackie Collins ball bearing lock. So it's kind of like the Axis lock, you know, where you know, pull those two lever or ball bearings down, the ball bearing down, then it would close the knife. It originally came in blue G10, but they switched over to the Bill Cosby carbon fiber scale, and you know, kind of like the blue carbon fiber better. Someone was actually I believe his name is Frank is Cooler on Instagram. He was wanting to trade his blue G10 Sage 3 for my Domino, but I waited a bit because I wanted to see if anybody would offer me up a Techno and a Sage, or a Sage 2, and luckily enough somebody did offer me this Sage 2, and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, and then the last one in the Sage line is, I believe it's a tribute to Almar, but I'm not entirely sure, but it's a back lock with titanium bolster and ironwood, desert ironwood, I think, handle slabs or handle scales. But yeah, I like this one the most. Just I love the simple, sleek titanium. And then yeah, so let's go to the grips that you can have. So in the, you know, normal forward grip with your thumb on the back of the spine, you know, it's really comfortable, and they really nicely rounded the edges on this knife. You can kind of see there the beveling, or yeah, beveling done on the sides, just really smooth. Not really any hot spots, just because it's a thin knife. There's kind of like some points that if you push too hard, it's kind of pinch you, but this isn't the type of knife that you'd be doing super hard use. I'd get a cold steel for that. But yeah, this one, it's just really comfortable in hand, especially this frame lock. They really rounded this out, this cut, so it's not sharp on you. Just, you can easily press that one in and no discomfort. So yeah, that's something I really like about that. Of course, no, not really any grip. I mean, the bead blast does offer some sort of texture, but it's not really grip that I'd, you know, it's something that's really tactical for a tactical knife. This is just a utility knife. Sorry, I seriously can't speak today. It's just a utility knife. And the reverse grip, not that you'd be using this for tactical stuff, but you know, it feels really comfortable still. You know, you don't really have much in the way of really some extra thumb space, but you know, you get this tiny bit, just enough for my hand to be comfortable having a 4-finger grip and not having to scrunch up on the grip. Just, you know, it's just enough. And then, of course, the draw cut grip, still very comfortable. You know, this is the grip that I use when I'm cutting open paracord, or cutting paracord, and cutting open some smaller packages or stuff like that. You know, just bring the package and just pull it that way, and it works well for that, not uncomfortable. And then we have kind of this pical grip, not very comfortable at all, not the type of grip that you'd be using for this knife anyway. And then we have this kind of grip where you kind of have it tilted sideways. This is actually a grip that I find myself using a lot. I believe Apostle P calls this the Wells Pub Samurai grip or something like that. Not entirely sure. But yeah, this is actually a grip that I find myself using a lot. And then we go over to this finger choil that, you know, locks your finger in there. You can do some detailed cuts in. This is like a really nice, comfortable, secure grip that I use for this knife and a lot of other knives that let me choke up. Just really controllable cuts that you can do with this grip. So yeah, very comfortable, nice to use, knife to use for your basic everyday carry tasks. What else can I say about this? Oh yeah, so the lock bar, actually, one of the things that I noticed about it is that the tension, it wasn't tight enough for my taste. It was kind of, when you open it, it was like, this one, you can hear the snap, but originally when this came to me, it was like really just, it was super silent, the sound of the lock bar, you know, settling into the tang of the knife. But now you can hear it's very audible. And I just disassembled the knife and then pulled the lock bar in this way so that I would have some more lock bar tension, and it works fine for me now. It also has a little more detent, so it holds the blade in a little better now. So there's that. So I don't know if the Sage 2 comes like that, but from one of the models I tried at Plaza Cutlery when I was visiting there one time, I did also notice that the lock bar it didn't have that much tension. So probably just like Spyderco's thing, maybe they didn't want to have such a hard detent or something, but yeah, mine opens fine and it's still very smooth. It runs on phosphor bronze washers, and I just greased those up because when Crispin gave it to me, it came bone dry, so I just had to put some grease in there, and it's very smooth. It's not gonna fall down on itself really. I mean, you can see there when I relieved the lock bar tension, it swung down, but it's not gonna go all the way by itself. You know, you're gonna have to assist it. I believe that, you know, that's kind of like a Sebenza. So that's also, in a ways, of that tribute. And yeah, you can see that the satin blade is a fingerprint magnet. Let's focus on that. So yeah, so I can open it fine with this thumb hole, Spyderco signature thumb hole. Works great. You can also Spidey flick it. Very flickable. It's my index finger. Not as hard of a detent as the domino, but this one works out fine. Let me see if I can get ring finger. Yep. So I can do that fine. For lefties, what's nice is that you have this. You can swap the wire clip over to this side of the knife, so you can carry it that way. Yeah, and of course the spider hole is ambidextrous. Frame lock isn't particularly made for left-handed people, but I can actuate it fine. And my friend Johnny, shout out to Everyday Johnny, I'll pull up his Instagram there. He carries this knife and it's one of his favorites. Yeah, he's actually one of the people that convinced me to pick up a Sage just because of how much he likes his and his pictures of his. Also would like to get a what's called a Techno one day. Definitely something that's on the list. Probably the next one that I want to get is a Techno. So here's Everyday Johnny, one of my good buddies. He has a YouTube page as well. He goes by Everyday Johnny there as well, I think, on YouTube. If it'll actually focus. Probably, yeah, there we go. Might be because of my lighting. And you can see he's got the picture of Dwight from The Office licking the knife. Licking the naff. And yeah, you can see his pictures of his knives. He's a lefty. You can see from the pocket clip position. But yeah, great feed. He just got his iPhone 5C, so he's been taking a lot of pictures, and he said he's gonna be taking videos. So dude, you gotta deliver on that promise, because I want to watch your videos. He's got a really nice style to his videos. He's really laid back compared to me. You can tell I'm kind of nervous. But yeah, I think I said that everything that needs to be said. This knife is on standoffs. You can see there. Let that focus. So yeah, you can see that knife's on standoffs, which is really nice. And let's see the centering. Oh, so it's kind of going to the show side, but I can easily fix that right now. Just look at my wallpaper for now. I'll just set up my screwdriver, and then we'll check out the centering from there. Okay, so got this cheap ass Torx driver from Walmart, but it works fine for me. So is that centering dead on? Yep, looks good enough for me. Yep, there we go. So the knife is still smooth. Focus. Knife is still smooth, doesn't fall down, but still, oops, yeah, maybe a little tight. I have to pick up some Loctite for this. That's the reason why it's kind of just rotating on its own. But I think after I get some Loctite for it, it'll be fine. So yeah, there's my knife, my Spyderco Sage 2. Very cool knife. I'd recommend this knife to anybody for everyday carry, you know, just college student, want to carry something that's not scary for the sheeple, you know. And carries really nice and deep. And yeah, cool knife. Have any questions, have any comments, leave it in the comments below. And if you like my stuff, you can like, favorite, subscribe. If you want to check out my Instagram, check out @HansBoyardee. That's HansBoyardee. And you'll see pictures of my knives, gear dumps, and some random selfies maybe. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Stay sharp, alright?